Hi everyone, we are gonna talk about where the cells get the energy from. Cells, as we can know, have the work cut out from them in since they have to work to keep you alive, moving and breathing. Now in order to effectively do that, they need loads of energy. And that brings us to the question where cells really get the energy from. Cells get the energy from the food we eat every day, no matter it was Valencian paella or Italian pasta or Japanese sushi. Not from the food itself but from the chemical bonds present in each food molecule, which serves as a fuel for the cell. Cellular nutrition comes from the sugar, lipids, proteins, and polysaccharides. For various cells to get their energy, they need to function better. Some work needs to be done on the food molecules that they've been digested in the body. And now in order to get deep in this subject, we need to know cellular respiration. What is cellular respiration? Cellular respiration is basically the breakdown of organic molecules, such as carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, to produce energy glucose, which is simple carbohydrate that's preferred source for the cellular respiration pathway. Now talking about basics of this process, there are four main stages that take place during cellular respiration. We have glycolysis, intermediate stage, citric acid cycle, and electron transport system. An important thing to note that glycolysis does not require oxygen, making them anaerobic, and the other three stages require oxygen, making them aerobic. So let's say you are eating apple, which contain glucose, and your body wants to take some of that glucose and convert it into cellular energy inside the cytosol of the cell, where the first step of glycolysis takes place during glycolysis. A molecule of glucose which have 6 carbons go through a series of steps, which lead the glucose molecule being converted into 2 pyruvate molecules. These pyruvate molecules have 3 carbons, so 6 carbons glucose to 2 carbons pyruvate. During glycolysis, 2 ATP molecules are invested and 4 ATP molecules are produced. So that's gain of 2 ATPs. ATP is the energy currency in cells, so you can think of it like a gas can that provides the fuel to do cellular work. Another key thing is that during glycolysis, 2 molecules of NADH are produced, and those molecules will be used in later process. The pyruvate to produce have 2 pathways. If sufficient oxygen is available, they will enter into intermediate stage, and if oxygen is not available, pyruvate is converted into lactate. Now in the intermediate stage, with oxygen available, the pyruvate will enter mitochondria, which is an organelle in a cell. Here pyruvate is converted into acetyl-CoA. 2 molecules of NADH are produced, and the carbon dioxide CO2 molecule is released. Next is the third stage, the citric acid cycle. In the citric acid cycle, acetyl-CoA go through several steps, lead to the production of 1 ATP, 3 NADH molecules, and 1 FADH2 molecule, as well as the release of 2 carbon dioxide molecules. But remember, we start with 2 acetyl-CoA molecules, so the citric acid cycle must occur twice, which gives a total of 2 ATP molecules, 6 NADH molecules, and 2 FADH molecules, and a total of 4 carbon dioxide molecules are released. Now for the fourth stage, the electron transport chain, is where the most ATP production occurs. Here NADH and FADH2 release electrons, which after a series of steps that lead to the production of 32 to 34 ATP molecules. So in theory, we have 2 ATP from glycolysis, 2 ATPs from citric acid cycle, and 34 from the electron transport chain, for the total of 38 ATP is produced. However, the actual number is estimated to be between 28 to 30, because some of the process along the pathway need to use ATP to complete their function. So now, the pathway of cellular respiration is complete. So how about other food molecules? Glucose is a simple carbohydrate, and we have seen how it fits into cellular respiration pathway. But other simple carbohydrates such as fructose and galactose can enter the pathway during glycolysis stage. As well, proteins are made up from amino acids, and most of the time they are not used to produce energy via cellular respiration. However, if the body wants to use amino acid for energy production, it can. They must have amine NH2 removed first. Once this is done, different amino acids enter cellular respiration pathway at the different stages. And that, folks, was the basics of cellular respiration and where the energy comes from. I hope you enjoyed this topic, and I see you in the next one.